Episode 1, Neurotyranny, Why Your Body Has Forgotten How to Breathe. Last Tuesday, a Wall Street trader's smartwatch screamed 47 cardiac alarms before lunch. Across the globe, a different story unfolded. A Shanghai delivery rider, navigating chaotic streets, his cortisol levels measured lower than a meditating Tibetan monk in the Himalayas. Unseen, unheard, a silent battle rages. The war for your nervous system has begun. Step into the modern office. Two figures, seemingly different worlds. One perpetually tethered to the digital leash of Slack, a human node in the network hum. The other, a picture of focused productivity, supposedly immersed in deep work. But thermal imaging tells a different story beneath the veneer of professional calm. Identical heat signatures. Adrenal glands firing on all cylinders. Bodies in a state of silent alarm, factory settings, set to stress. Neuroscientist Dr. Lena Chun explains, our prefrontal cortex, the seat of higher reasoning, hasn't quite caught up with the digital age. Evolutionarily, it's wired for survival in a physical world. Now it processes email alerts, social media notifications, as ancestral humans did predator growls in the savannah. The threat is no longer a saber-toothed tiger, it's the blinking red, the constant demand for attention. Our nervous systems are being hijacked, recalibrated for a world of perpetual, low-grade panic. The predator growl, replaced by the notification chime. The ambush in the savannah, mirrored in the inbox. Consider the data stream of a white-collar worker in Tokyo, metropolis of steel and glass and relentless efficiency. Fitbit tracks it all, 92 stress events every single day. Look closer, microseconds, tiny, involuntary eye jumps, darting between screens, screen switching 400 times an hour, a digital tick, a nervous system stutter. MIT's 2023 study was groundbreaking, quantifying what we intuitively knew. Screen switching, that seemingly innocuous act of modern multitasking, triggers fight or flight responses 300% more intensely than actual physical threats. Our brains interpret this constant digital shifting as danger, a fragmented reality, a world demanding hypervigilance, and our bodies respond accordingly with chronic, often invisible stress. 300% more stress from pixels than predators. The office, bathed in a perpetual, artificial dawn. Blue light, ubiquitous, invisible weapon of the digital age. Biochemist Dr. Amir Gupta reveals, we think of caffeine as the enemy of sleep, but blue light is a far more insidious disruptor. Specifically, the 480 nanometer blue wavelength. My research shows it suppresses melatonin production 3 times more effectively than caffeine. 3 times. The sleep thief, hidden in plain sight, in every screen, every bulb, every digital sunrise. Holding up a spectrometer, Dr. Gupta demonstrates readings on a seemingly dark phone screen. Night mode? A comforting illusion, a placebo for the digitally dependent. Look at this spectrometer reading. Dark, screen still emitting cortisol-triggering spectra, still bathing your retinas in sleep-disrupting blue. Your night mode is a blue light filter, not a blue light blocker. A filter, not a shield. The digital sunset, a false dawn, prolonging the day, stealing the night. Count your digital handcuffs, those push notifications creeping into the hours of darkness between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., apps demanding your attention even in your sleep. 78% of people polled are unaware of their own digital boundaries, unprotected in the blue light battlefield. The warehouse floor, the invisible engine of e-commerce, Amazon. Relentless demands, unforgiving metrics, workers developing bladder resistance, holding on, ignoring the body's signals, avoiding bathroom breaks, precious minutes, lost productivity. Labor historian Dr. Emily Jo contextualizes, the Industrial Revolution demanded physical labor, the digital revolution demands cognitive labor and bodily compliance. The 8-hour workday, a hard-won victory of the early 20th century, 1914, the Ford factory. Now the battleground has shifted. Today's struggle isn't for hours, it's for minutes, for seconds, for undirected thought. The 8-hour day, a century ago, a distant memory. Now, the fight is for 8 minutes of undirected thought. Silicon Valley, always innovating, even bathroom breaks. Mindful pissing, apps gamifying 2-minute bathroom meditation, optimize even urination. Dr. Zhou observes with irony, it's a grotesque parody. The very act of relieving oneself, a fundamental human need, is now gamified for productivity. But within this absurdity, there's a flicker of rebellion, a subtle reclaiming of time. The toilet break, the last sanctuary for undirected thought, for escape. The toilet, the last frontier of the undirected mind, the unexpected battleground for freedom. What if every time you unlock your phone, you're signing a neurological NDA? An unspoken agreement to surrender your attention to the algorithm. But there's a way out, a loophole, a rebellion. Dopamine fasting, the Silicon Valley fad, stripped of its biohacking gloss, a radical idea emerges, rewilding your synapses, reclaiming your neurological landscape. In an exclusive experiment, 5 participants, wired to EEG machines, undergo dopamine detox. No phones, no screens, no digital dopamine hits. Day 1, brains buzzing, chaotic. Day 3, something shifts. Brain scans reveal default mode network activation, rivaling psychedelic therapy, the aha moment, the wandering mind re-emerging from the digital fog. Rewilding your synapses, a survival guide for the attention war. The 17-second rule, glance at clouds, 17 seconds minimum, resets your HPA axis, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, your stress response system, nature's reset button hidden in the sky. Tactile grounding, rub denim seams or any textured fabric, denim, workwear, the anti-tech antidote, engages your parasympathetic nervous system, lowers blood pressure, simple, immediate. Illegal breathing, the 4-7-8 method. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 7 seconds, exhale 8 seconds. Illegal because banned in call centers, too calming, too human. Reclaim your breath, reclaim your calm. In our next episode, we'll autopsy the good child syndrome, why that A-plus student you used to be is now paying $200 an hour to learn how to sit still. Subscribe before the algorithm realizes what we're exposing. Episode 2, Childhood Trauma, the Straight-A Prisoner's Dilemma. Meet Li Wei. Age 7, memorized the periodic table. Age 27, medical leave. Diagnosis, excessive responsibility syndrome. The untold cost of being called a good boy. 1990s Beijing, the surveillance cradle, the pressure cooker of ambition. Home videos offer rare glimpses into the hidden architecture of anxiety. Developmental psychologist, Dr. Yukio Nakamura, decodes the microbehaviors, the telltale signs of the good child, in training. Look closely, a toddler reaching for a toy, but first a microglance, checking the parent's face, seeking approval before play. An 8-year-old slouching slightly, hears footsteps approaching, instantly self-corrects posture, spine straightens for surveillance. A teenager taking an exam, eye movements tracked, mirrored trauma responses, the body remembers the unspoken pressure, the constant evaluation. Approval-seeking play, posture correction for surveillance, trauma response exam eyes, the surveillance cradle shaping the nervous system from infancy. Shocking data emerges. Adults praised for independence before age 10. Brain scans reveal 60% thinner anterior cingulate cortex, the ACC, the brain's stress regulation center. Thinner ACC, impaired stress regulation. Early praise for independence, a neurological price to pay. The good child grows up, internalizing the surveillance, building a mental operating system optimized for anxiety, the bureaucracy of the anxious mind. 47% processing power wasted on what-if, simulations, worry, a mental hamster wheel. 32% allocated to social threat detection, judgment, anticipating disapproval, leaving only 21% for actual living. Corporate trainer Wang Meng confesses, "My bullet journal, it's not just a planner, it's a contingency matrix, contingency plans for elevator small talk, for unexpected networking opportunities. Last month, I even scheduled spontaneous laughter for authenticity." You see, control is the ultimate anxiety management tool. Spontaneous laughter scheduled. Control, the illusion of anxiety management, the bureaucracy of the self. What your third-grade teacher said about potential might be the reason you're now addicted to productivity porn, endless to-do lists, quantified self-metrics. But the cure? It's not another app. It's something far more radical than self-care. Radical therapy prescription, controlled failures, deliberate disobedience, showing up late, sending emails with typos, disrupting the internal algorithm of perfectionism. MRI scans revealed decreased amygdala activation after 6 weeks of failure therapy. Relearning imperfection, reclaiming humanity. Former child prodigy Zhang Yixing now teaches strategic mediocrity. Child prodigy, that was my label, my prison. Now I teach strategic mediocrity. My students, high achievers, type A personalities, they practice doing B, work on purpose. It's harder than quantum physics, letting go of the need to be perfect, that's true freedom. Strategic mediocrity, the counterintuitive antidote to the perfectionism pandemic, embracing the B, life. Finding freedom in imperfection. The Forgetting Curve, Memory's Cruel Calculus, MIT experiment. Adults recalling childhood memories, punishments 70% accuracy, vivid, sharp. Joyful moments, 30% accuracy, faded, blurred. The body remembers discipline as survival. Psychiatrist Dr. Maria Lopez explains, the body remembers discipline as survival. Pleasure becomes a suspicious activity. Our nervous systems are wired for vigilance, for threat detection. Childhood discipline, even if well-intentioned, can inadvertently reinforce this threat bias. We learn to prioritize avoidance of punishment over pursuit of joy. We become straight-A prisoners of our own making. List 5 things you were praised for before age 12. Quickly, don't overthink it. Obedient, quiet, mature, responsible. The pattern emerges. Praise for compliance, praise for control, the straight-A prisoner condition from childhood. Next week, we go undercover in the anxiety industrial complex, why your relaxation apps might be methadone for digital heroin. The answer will make you cancel your Calm subscription. Episode 3. Digital Breathe Tax. Your attention is the new oil field. Shenzhen, factory robots get mandated cool-down periods. In California, humans pay $19.99 per month for the same feature. Meet your new overlords, the relaxation brokers. The wellness industry, a multi-billion-dollar behemoth built on your anxiety. Leaked documents from a wellness app startup expose the inner workings, the panic derivatives market. User retention strategy allows 7 calm days, then trigger artificial anxiety. Monetize nostalgia, sell 1990s screensaver visuals as digital Xanax. Partnership opportunity, smart toilet sensors for stress biomarker tracking. Data journalist Lee Chong connects VC funding to microcrisis economics, your sweat metabolites, your heart rate variability, your sleep patterns, more valuable than your labor now. Your biodata, the new oil field, your attention, the new currency. Your biodata, the new oil field, your attention, the new currency. Welcome to the attention economy and its relaxation brokers. Beijing Tech Park, happiness competition, employees' Fitbit stress scores projected in real time, publicly ranked, top 10% spa vouchers, bottom 20% flag for emotional re-education, quantified self, quantified happiness, tyranny of the algorithm. Cultural critic Evelyn Wong analyzes the 19th century factory whip, physical coercion, became the 20th century time clock, temporal control, now the 21st century sleep tracker, neurological optimization. Optimization is the new obedience. We are being trained to be efficient anxiety machines. Factory whip, time clock, sleep tracker, optimization, the new obedience, the quantified self, the quantified soul. That meditation app you use during lunch breaks, its parent company also makes Battlefield AI. The connection isn't accidental. Digital Samis. Underground movements brewing in the digital shadows. Guangzhou programmers coding dumb mode phones, stripped of addictive apps, reclaiming digital silence. Berlin artists hosting glitch parties, crashing algorithms with intentional chaos. Seoul office workers trading anti-productivity, hacks, intentional buffer overflows, slowing down the machine from within. Ethical hacker Chen Yu explains attention arson, flooding algorithms with meaningless data, noise, garbage, reclaiming cognitive space, one buffer overflow at a time. The algorithm, it feeds on your attention. Starve the beast, reclaim your mind. Attention arson, burning down the attention economy, one meaningless data point at a time, reclaiming cognitive space, reclaiming the right to be inefficient. The right to be inefficient, not a new demand, historical parallels, 1930s factory slowdowns, workers subtly sabotaging the assembly line, reclaiming agency through inefficiency. Today, quiet quitting, disengaging, underperforming, reclaiming time from the algorithm. Labor lawyer Amanda Zhou warns, employers now suing for malicious relaxation, time theft, copyright infringement on their chill. Your chill is their intellectual property. The legal battleground has shifted again. Now it's for the right to relax. Malicious relaxation, copyright infringement on chill. The battle lines are drawn. The right to be inefficient, the right to relax, a fight for the future of humanity. Final episode. Why ICU nurses and death row guards hold a secret to radical calm. Their survival tactics will shock your inner yogi. Episode 4, Rebellious Wellness, Emergency Relaxation for the Apocalypse. New York neurosurgeons are prescribing what Taliban prisoners invented. The CIA spent millions to suppress this technique. Today you'll learn it for free. Trauma-tested tranquility, exclusive interview with Dr. Andrei Volkov, former Soviet prison doctor. In interrogation rooms, we observed a survival pattern. Prisoners who mastered vagus nerve activation lasted 10 times longer under duress, under torture. Calm was their weapon. Declassified KGB manual pages show breathing techniques identical to modern somatic therapy. Capitalism patented our torture resistance, Volkov quips. KGB torture resistance, rebranded as modern somatic therapy, the illicit knowledge of radical calm emerging from the darkest corners. Berlin black market, the illicit chill economy, where calm is contraband. $300 per hour, nap consultants teaching corporate espionage sleep techniques, bootleg neurostimulators made from repurposed sex toys, guerrilla yoga, flash mobs blocking Amazon delivery trucks, urban disruption as mindful protest. Field test, office worker uses commuter apnea, holding breath during subway stops to lower heart rate, biofeedback data shows 40% stress reduction. Commuter apnea, radical calm in plain sight. What Fukushima cleanup crews know about calm could get them fired. Their forbidden methods work better than any CEO's retreat. Scarcity mindset hacking refugee camp study. Despite trauma, 68% showed higher resilience than suburban teens. Key factor, forced presence, focusing on immediate physical needs over abstract worries. Scarcity as unexpected teacher. Disaster psychologist Dr. Emma Park explains, in disaster zones, luxury becomes presence, forced presence honing focus on breath, on body, on immediate surroundings. We can learn from this forced simplicity, controlled catastrophe exercises, purposeful phone battery drain to practice digital detachment, scheduling power outages to rediscover analog joy. Forced presence, controlled catastrophe, reclaiming analog joy. Post-apocalyptic serenity, doomsday preppers versus Buddhist monks, fMRI comparisons reveal identical theta wave patterns during crisis simulations. Survivalist Mike Chin admits, my bug-out bag has a meditation mat. Calm is the ultimate weapon. Doomsday preppers, Buddhist monks, radical calm as ultimate survival tool. This concludes our series, but the rebellion continues. Your assignment, do one thing badly today, break an algorithm's expectation. Remember, in the attention war, chill is treason. Stay dangerously relaxed.